A man is in hospital this morning with a serious head injury after a hit-and-run crash in Surrey. Greg Harper is there. He joins us live with more. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. This hit and run happened just behind me here on 92nd Avenue near 127th Street. This happened around 5 p.m. yesterday. That's when police say a man in his 60s was hit by a vehicle. He was taken to hospital with serious head injuries. Police are now looking for the driver involved and the vehicle, and they're looking for a newer model, gray or silver sedan, possibly a Honda Civic. And this is a vehicle that may have damage to the front end of the driver's side. Surrey RCMP are expected to release some surveillance footage later today, and police are asking anyone who may have any information at all that may help them in this investigation to give them a call. Kyle?
Greg Harper live this morning in Surrey. Thanks for that, Greg. Well, a sad end to the search for a man who fell into the Fraser River while trying to save his wife. The 74-year-old's body was found near the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal yesterday afternoon. That ended hours of searching focused around Delta's Westham Island. It started on Sunday night when the man's wife fell into the water from a houseboat. She was rescued by neighbors, but her husband remained missing.
We know each other and watch out for each other, you know, but we've never had anybody go missing like this. That's breaks my heart.
The drowning victim has been identified as Everett McGowan. He was the owner of OK Boot Corral, a landmark Western wear store in Gastown. Everett had been in the footwear business for decades. A retired BC obstetrician and gynecologist has been found stabbed to death at his vacation home in the Bahamas. Police have a 43-year-old suspect in custody in the death of Jeffrey Harding. It's believed the 88-year-old was stabbed several times when he refused to hand over money during a home invasion. Harding was a respected, longtime doctor in Chetwynd and other parts of BC. He worked well into his 70s before retiring. The criminal trial of suspended Conservative Senator Mike Duffy gets underway in Ottawa this morning, putting the Senate expense scandal right back into the national spotlight. The 68-year-old has denied any wrongdoing as he faces more than 24 allegations of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Duffy has denied any wrongdoing concerning his Senate expenses and a $90,000 check written by Prime Minister Stephen Harper's former chief of staff to pay those expenses off. The trial will be by judge alone and is expected to last more than 40 days. With school districts around BC struggling to make ends meet, New Democrats say they're facing a new challenge just to keep the lights on. The NDP says new hydro rate hikes that came in last week will cost school boards almost $7 million this year. And with a 28% rate hike being phased in over 5 years, $30 million over that period of time. The NDP says students will bear the brunt of the increases, with districts cutting costs to balance their budgets.
The government, while it often says that it's supporting education, is in fact imposing costs on education, downloading costs on education, and schools and students and elementary school and secondary school students, while at the same time reducing funds and supports to education.
I think it's a slippery slope to start to consider exempting certain groups from the actual cost of producing this electricity, because again, as soon as you exempt a group, let's say for example school districts, then somebody else has to pick up the cost that they're not covering any longer.
The NDP says the solution is simple: increase funding for BC schools. Instead, the provincial government is ordering districts to find $54 million in savings over the next couple of years. A new study is painting a gloomy picture of BC's mountain landscape due to global warming. The study is published in the journal Nature Geoscience and says 70% of glacial ice will disappear from BC and Alberta by the end of this century. The drier Rocky Mountains will be worst hit, with glaciers all but vanishing in 100 years. Scientists say this will affect salmon spawning, hydropower, and it may lead to a scarcity of water in Alberta.
Salmon and trout don't do so fine in warm water, and we lose the glacier thermostat. Essentially, the glaciers are sending cool water into upper headwater streams at the time of year when there aren't other sources of water. The glacier melt goes there, keeps the streams topped up, and also keeps the temperatures down.